be building a mindset that makes you as competitive as possible. And I think that considering happiness as a concept, as an idea in and of itself is a bad idea. I think it's insane. So it doesn't even cross my mind if I'm happy. It doesn't even cross my mind. I've got shit to do.
Every man understands you shouldn't be complaining about things you cannot change. You have to play the cards you're dealt. To be born a certain height and then to sit there and go, what do I do? I'll tell you what you do. You become the best version of yourself, just like everyone else does. Nothing about the height is in and of itself enough value for me to be a valuable man. As a man, you build your value. You are born with the cards you're dealt. Sure, it'd be ideal. Look, I'd love to be 7 foot tall. I'm not. So it's the same argument. If you're 5'2", you need to become rich, strong, and funny, and charismatic, and interesting, and witty. If you're 6'4", you need to become rich, strong, well-connected. It's the same game. So to sit there and complain about it is asinine.
People email me their long lists of all the bad things that happened to them, and I reply, fantastic. You are so lucky. You have all the building blocks to become the exact kind of man you want to be. If none of this shit happened to you, when something else bad happens to you later, you wouldn't be able to deal with it. Fantastic. Bad things happened to Batman. They killed his parents. Do you understand? That's why he's Batman. You've just told me you have the building blocks. You might become top G when I retire. What are you complaining about? He goes, well, what do I do? I said, you need to work. Take all that trauma. If you're truly heartbroken, my friend, and we've all been there as men, if you're truly heartbroken, you can't sleep. That means you're going to get in fantastic shape. You better hit the gym. You have nothing else to do. Stop watching YouTube. Stop emailing me. I want pictures of you in the gym. Get to fucking work. Heartbreak's a fantastic motivator, as is depression, as is sadness. Great. Look at what's pissing you off and make sure it never happens again. If you were jacked and rich as fuck, she probably wouldn't have left your ass.
All of you have a handful of aces. I don't think you understand that. You could have been in a car crash at 4 years old and lost your legs. Do you have any understanding of how lucky you have been? This is pure luck. There's only luck has kept you fully able-bodied, sitting there, capable of learning and listening and becoming something. You don't really need to be that tall if you're important and rich. And when you walk in the room, you think when fucking Mayweather walks in the room, people give a shit? Fix that frame in your mind. You are viewing yourself as a short man. Stop it. Walk the fuck up and be the man.
I was a 4-time kickboxing world champion. For 12 years, I trained 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I was motivated to train probably about 25% of the time. The rest of the time I went because I am disciplined. You don't feel like going through that shit on a Wednesday morning when you wake up, but you have to do it because you're disciplined. You're either a disciplined individual or you are not a disciplined individual. There's a difference between want and want. And I say this all the time. People say to me, I want to be rich. And I say, okay, well, I want to be able to ice skate. But I don't want to be able to ice skate enough to go learn how to ice skate because I can't be bothered. I mean, surely if I could click my fingers and be a figure skater, I'd click my fingers. Who wouldn't? But I don't want to actually go train because I don't want it enough. And this is the exact point with money. Everyone wants money put on their lap. If you truly wanted money, you wouldn't be able to sleep until you fucking had it. And this is the point. Because when I had nothing, I couldn't be distracted. You couldn't distract me from what I wanted. That's who I am. If I want something, I'm going to get it. I do not need to be motivated. I'm a disciplined person. If I allocate X amount of time to work, I'm going to do it. But that is the bottom line answer. It's discipline. You're going to have to work when you don't feel like working. That's how it's going to have to be, or you're never going to be eating. The idea that men don't feel emotions is incorrect. We feel emotions. I would actually argue we feel emotions with certain emotions stronger than women. I would argue that we feel heartbreak stronger than women. I would argue we feel anger like a woman could never understand. I would argue we are extremely emotional. Rage, pure rage. But it's feedback. So when you get the feedback, it's all about how you internalize that and how you process it, right? It's having stoicism's not feeling emotions. It's feeling the emotion and going, okay, why is this happening? How much does this really matter? What's the most intelligent move on the chessboard? Chess is a fantastic game because in the game of chess, there's no luck. If you lose, no matter how well you played, if you lose, at some point you made a mistake. Even if it's the most minor mistake, you made a mistake. So you learn to understand that no matter what happens to you.
I don't think most of you realize that you do not have time. Everything is time. Time can be converted into anything. We all know time can be converted into money. People say often, time is money. This is true. Money is also time. You spend money to save time. Time is the enemy of the rich man, so he takes a private jet to save time. Money is the enemy of a poor man, so he waits for the bus to save money. But they're the same thing, money and time. So when I say you don't have time, This is something you need to remember because it's extremely important and you can apply it to most things. You do not have time to have a headache. Do you understand? I'm not saying you don't have a headache. I'm not saying your head doesn't hurt, but you don't have time for it to affect your life. You do not have the waking hours. You are being outcompeted and crushed by people who are more powerful and more connected than you'll possibly ever be, by people who know things you do not know. You do not have time to have a headache. It's simply not acceptable. How do you perform when you have headaches is a stupid question. The fact you've even framed it in that way shows that you don't understand the world. I'll give you another example. You don't have time to argue with your woman. Your woman started an argument today or yesterday, whenever, and you've been texting back and forth. You don't have time. You have things to do. There's unlimited work in the universe. You don't have time to have a headache or message girls or scroll Instagram. You don't have time for any of these things. Time is your lifeblood. It's all you've got. You can turn time into reputation. You could turn time into global fame. You could turn time into respect. You could turn time into a fantastic body. You could do anything with your time. You could choose a random embassy. You could choose a random country that you have beef with, Chile. And you could go stand outside the Chilean embassy with a sign saying, "Down with Chile," for no reason. But if you stood there every single day, after about 2 years, people would be like, who is this guy? And why does he hate Chile so much? You can turn your time into anything you want. So how are you going to waste it sitting around saying, I have a headache? Boo, boo, I have a headache. But the question is framed incorrectly. If I have a headache, I don't care. And one of the main reasons I don't care is because my enemy doesn't care. You know, when I got injured, when I was training for fights, my coach would often say to me, is your enemy going to hit you less or show you mercy because of this injury? If you say, okay, we're about to fight, but halfway through the training camp, I hurt my foot. So, take it easy. No, he's going to try and destroy me anyway. So if he doesn't care, why do I care? And why does my coach care? Nobody cares. The people who are trying to steal your woman, and trust me, everyone is. The people who are trying to take the money that you want to earn and put it in their pocket before you can. The people who want to have large and gorgeous feathers on their peacock to show the world all the amazing things they've done. They don't care that you have a headache. So why do you care? You need to reprogram your mind. You don't have time to have a headache. You don't have time to be doing the majority of things you do. And there's always been and always will be, and we could talk about that again. We were talking earlier about competence, right? Do you think a woman sees you as competent if you complain about having a headache? Let's say you have a headache. It's fine. You have a headache. I'm not disputing that. Maybe it really hurts. That's terrible. If you go, oh, I've got such a bad headache, do you think a woman looks at you and goes, yes, oh, I found the guy for me? She may not say anything. She may say, oh, do you want a pill? But really, deep down, this guy's a dickhead. I mean, if you got hit in the head with a hammer or shot in the face, fine. But why do you have a headache? From what? Scrolling TikTok. A lot of you deserve the failure you endure. The universe is very giving. I often believe people say the world's not fair. I'd argue that karmic retributions, and in the long run, all in all, is pretty fair. Karmic retributions are real. In the end, God gives you exactly what you deserve. So if you're not happy with your life, you have to ask yourself, do you really deserve more? Have you really tried 100% of the time? Did you ignore that headache? Are you as competent as you could possibly be? Have you given 100% every time you've done anything? No, you deserve what you have. You deserve your mediocrity because you're an average person. You want a Lambo and these women and a boat and whatever else you want because you see it on Instagram, but wanting something and deserving something are very different things. If you truly deserved it, you'd be working for it in a way that ensures it would be given to you by the universe. Every single thing I've ever wanted, I have got. Maybe not instantly, maybe not easily. In fact, certainly not both. It was always difficult and it always took time, but I really wanted them, so I always got them. And I put in enough work to show God and show the universe I deserve them, so he gave them to me. I cannot remember a single time, and I state this as a matter of fact, this is not hyperbole, I cannot remember a single time I have ever decided not to do something that must be done because I had a headache, ever. Ever. It is easier if you enjoy it, because you do not struggle with lack of motivation or lack of interest. For me to say you could honestly be world champion at something you hate is a lie. You can, however, be competent at things you don't like. You can be very good at something you don't like doing. To be the best in the world, you probably have to fall in love with it. But the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And you can fall in love with the idea of being good in general. So anything I do, I don't want to be bad at. I either don't do it or I try my very best all the time to become extremely good at it. I don't see the point in doing anything and being mediocre or being bad at it. What's the point? If I'm going to speak on podcasts, I want to be good at it. Anything I'm going to do, I want to be good at. Now, you should have enough respect for yourself that you're prepared to always put in the effort to give your best 100% because it is a habit. You should always give your best to anything you do. When you pick up a video game, you should give your best. When you drive a car, you should attempt to drive as efficiently as possible, using the brake as little as possible to not waste fuel, to make sure there's no close calls, no sudden braking. Most of you are just getting in your car and driving like a jackass from point A to point B, not trying to actually go, you know what, let me drive and pretend I have the queen in the back seat and I can't even brake suddenly. And I only have a fraction of fuel. How far can I go if I very smoothly, very calmly anticipate the traffic in advance, move my car in and out of the car so I barely have to brake, keep moving slowly and smoothly? Let me try and get good at this. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. And it is a habit to be good at things. There's nothing wrong with just being good at things. To be the best in the world, you have to love it. That's true. But you're not going to love the majority of things you do. That's not realistic. The world's not going to afford you a life where everything you do you're in love with. In fact, you're going to end up doing a whole bunch of things you don't want to do. And the life hack is, if you enjoy getting better at things, then you can be doing something you don't want to do better than you previously done it, and now you enjoy doing it because you were more competent and more capable at said task. You are now better at said task. Every single thing I approach with vigor because I like being good at things. And that's not because I'm arrogant. That's because I have enough respect for myself, and more importantly, I have enough respect for the people I love to know that I need to be good at things. When my children, or when my women, or my family, or my people who rely on me, my brothers, anybody comes to me expecting me to do something for them, I need to have enough respect for them to know that I'm good at what they ask me to do. And if I don't know what they want me to do, or I'm not particularly good at it, I'm at least good at learning. You can become good at learning so that you learn things faster. Good at concentrating. Good at taking a scenario seriously. These are all basic life skills that go along with bravery. That's going to put you in a competitive bracket amongst the masculine realm which exists today, because most people can't even focus. Most people can't even focus or try hard at anything. So to answer the question, can you become world champion without loving boxing? No, you can't become the best in the world. However, you can become very good at it because you can have enough discipline to ensure that you go to training, and you can make sure that you're the kind of person who, if you're going to go to training, you're going to try your best. Guys, you're going to go to training for an hour. Whether you try hard or don't try hard, you're going to spend an hour in the boxing gym. There is no reason to not try. That is a learned habit. And what you often find with people who need to be motivated into things, because they're not disciplined enough to do things and not disciplined enough to do things properly, they'll go and say, I went to boxing training, as if that's all that it's about. It's not about going to the training. It's about trying hard in the training. It's about giving it your all. It's about dedicating yourself. You're going to give an hour up anyway. There's no reason to not try. Most people go through their entire adult life without trying 100% hardly ever. Think about it. Even when you go to the gym, you don't try 100%. You try 60%, 70%. You don't try 100% at home. What do you try 100% with? Do you really try 100% with work? Are you really moving that mouse as quickly as you possibly can? No, you're not trying. So you have people who have gone through life and are going through life without even giving 100% of what they've got ever. And it's interesting because we're entering the most competitive period of human history. So you need to get very good at everything you do, all of the time. You'll learn a lot of lessons about psychology in the boxing ring. Now, they're not related, technically. One's exercise, one's the psychology of people. But you'll learn in the fight ring, you'll learn that you're not tired when you're winning. You're tired when you're losing. That once you start to win, you get to find unlimited energy from the universe from somewhere, and you just continue to push forward, no matter how hard it is. Winning is easy. It's trying to turn it around when you're losing that is difficult. You take this lesson from boxing and you apply it to everything else in life. You apply it to money and say, once I start to make money, I know I will have endless motivation to keep making money. It's just hard to make money in the first place. It's hard to get over that hurdle, but once I get going, it's easy. It's a positive reinforcement loop. It's a spiral upwards into infinity. It's a tornado that takes you to the promised land. So to have that unique psychological conclusion, that unique psychological input, you had to become good at boxing. So it's very important that you're good at everything you do, all of the time. Don't do it if you're not going to try. But you don't want people to learn bad habits. But it's a bad habit to coast. It's a bad habit to spend time and waste it. It's a bad habit to go, oh, I tried, I went, I didn't give it my all, but at least I went. You see this kind of cope online all the time. Yeah, at least I went. It's going that matters. That's not true. It's trying that matters. So you see this kind of cope. Ah, yeah, well, I didn't feel like going to the gym, but I went and just had a light session. Why? You went anyway, so why did you have a light session? If you're gonna go, do it. If you're gonna do it right. There's no point in half doing anything. You may as well have not done it at all. So this idea you can coast through things, this idea you can lazily try or pretend to try or just showing up counts, I dispute all of that absolutely. You give 100% of your heart, soul, and vigor to anything you do, and it becomes a habit so that it's all you know how to do. Before you know it, you're driving a car trying to do it as well as possible. And you're having a conversation trying to be as clear and compendious and concise as possible. And you're trying to make money as much as possible, as efficiently as possible. And you're trying to educate your children as well as possible. You're trying to protect your family as much as possible. You're trying to get as strong as possible. Because all you know is maximum limits. That's all you've ever done. You've never done any of this, that garbage can go out the window. So you need to get good at getting good at things. And you need to get good at trying 100% at all things, whether you like them or not. And this will give you a base level of competency in all realms, even if you're not in love with said task. Success is like being pregnant. Everyone says congratulations, but nobody knows how many times you get fucked. Absolutely. But that's the beauty of success, right? Because all the times you get fucked teach you the lessons you need to be successful in the first place. You would never be successful without getting screwed over. And also, you wouldn't be happy with your success without getting screwed over. The reason you appreciate that woman who's so good to you, who you trust with all your heart, who's loyal to you, is because that other woman cheated on you. If you had never seen a terrible, narcissistic, cheating woman, you wouldn't appreciate a good, kind-hearted one. There is no light without dark. So it's very important that you go through these bad things, one, to learn lessons, but two, to learn gratitude and appreciation for things once you have them. It's extremely important. Every time something bad happens to you, you need to say thank you to God. Thank you, God, for giving me this difficult time, for me to learn lessons, and for me to have more appreciation for my fantastic life in the future. That's how you should approach life. And especially success is exactly the same way. The lessons you'll learn failing along the way will ensure that when you get to the top, you can keep it. It's difficult to think of a scenario where being brave would be a negative mindset for you to be able to tap into, because bravery affords new options you haven't previously considered. If you're a coward, you don't have certain options on the chessboard because you simply don't have the bravery to make X moves. But if you are brave, you can analyze these moves. So you have a whole bunch of moves that most people don't have. Most people do not have the bravery to consider alternate paths. You need to be able to look at the chess moves that most people will not be prepared to make, and most people live very afraid. So bravery is an extremely important skill to hone. It's something you should practice. You should often sit and think, what would be the bravest decision I could make in this scenario? What would be the bravest one I could possibly make? And consider it. I'm not saying do it, but you should get in the mental model of considering it. Because quite often when you're a coward, brave decisions don't even cross your mind, ever. They don't even cross your psyche. They're not even something that's interesting to you. You haven't trained your mind to consider them. So you need to train your mind to consider bravery, because bravery is something that is going to universally apply throughout your life. Doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if you're poor, doesn't matter if you're in Thailand, doesn't matter if you're in Peru. Having the option to be extremely brave and consider the options which are afforded only to a brave person is going to be something which is always going to benefit you. So it's very important that you consider and think about bravery as a whole, something I want you to hone. Because life is sales. Convincing a woman to love you is sales. Work is sales. Life is sales. So fantastic thing to learn. Boxing, once again, fantastic thing to learn. It's very good. Your body and mind are connected. You do not have a strong mind without having a strong body. Fantastic. Who should you be before you become rich? Well, money is an amplifier. Money's not going to change who you are. It's going to amplify who you are. If you're a good person, it'll make you a very good person. If you're a bad person, it'll make you a very bad person. If you're a weak person, it'll make you very weak and cowardly and scared. If you're a strong person, it'll make you very brave. Money amplifies. So you actually kind of have to hope that you don't get rich too early before you've struggled enough, because men are built on the back of struggle. You have to go through pain and terrible things as a man and struggle constantly to be a good man. No man who has not struggled is a good man or good at being a man. But don't worry, I think God has a plan for you. You should be trying your absolute best to get rich all of the time. You should be struggling and working as hard as possible. And all of those lessons that will come with all the suffering and the difficulty will be amplified by the time you're a multimillionaire and you'll become the best version of yourself. That's how you become a top G. Wake up every day and be prepared to give 100% focus to all of the things you do. That's all you have to worry about. It's kind of like, if you worry about the work, the results come. The results are easy. Guys, money is easy. Money is easy. Women are easy. The life you want is easy. All you have to do is fall in love with the work. If you fall in love with the work, fall in love with being good at doing your work, getting it done, never missing a day. Because the easiest way to make sure you never miss a lucky day is to try every single day. Lucky days exist. And you're never going to know if you have a lucky day or not unless you try every single day. Then you're never going to miss any lucky days, and you're going to pull it off. And you're going to realize it wasn't actually that difficult. All it took was consistency and constant effort, never being lazy and doing everything I'm supposed to do properly. When you tolerate something, you're admitting you deserve it. You're going to get exactly what you deserve in life, from women, from masculine friendship, financially, respect on the street, luck. You get the luck you deserve. If you try your very best in all things, you pray, and you're really thankful to God, and you say thank you all the time, you start to become very lucky. Lucky things start to happen. You get the luck you deserve when you try. It's truly remarkable. When a woman looks at you and goes, he can do anything he says he's going to do, that's when you become instantly attractive. Competence is extremely important. That's the masculine world. And peacocking built this world. Don't let losers and brokies sit and say to you, oh, all our graves are the same, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. You were not born to suffer and die without being remembered or leaving a mark on this planet. You weren't born for that. You were born to do something great and to be remembered. You were born to leave offspring, which are so fantastic, raised in your image, that you, by proxy, are discussed into eternity. Your bloodline becomes synonymous with competence and capability. That's why you were born. The reason the male peacock shows its feathers is to say, look what I have. There is nothing wrong with that. That's what built the modern world. All of the explorers who risked their lives on the 7 seas did it to say, look what I did. The most beautiful buildings around you, the cathedrals, all these things that were built by men saying, look what we have done. We have done something other people cannot do. Flexing, in and of itself, is not a stupid idea. It's actually a biological norm amongst men. Don't be confused. You don't want to flex asininities. You want to flex capabilities. You want to flex competence. You want to flex, look what I can do, which others cannot do. And respect often lies on the other side of fear. If there's a decision that everybody's afraid to do, but you do it, that is what's going to get you respected by your peers. But masculine brotherhood has been the basis of keeping you accountable. It's very easy for you to become the best version of yourself if all the men around you are pushing you all of the time. And they're ensuring that they are being their best selves, which is constantly pushing and striving towards successes. This is what you're supposed to do. You always have. This is why even boxers, although they fight alone, they train as part of a camp with other boxers. You're always pushing yourself all of the time. That's the primary objective of masculinity, is to leave your mark on the world. And it's easiest to do that if you have brothers behind you who are pushing you to be your best self. I don't know how to keep that fire going. What should I do? This is a really interesting question, actually, because it amazes me that so many people in the world still today, even though we have instant access via social media to the truly successful, believe anything they've done matters. So you've made 100 grand. You're still poor. That's nothing. That is nothing. 100 grand is nothing. It is my cigar bill for a month. It's nothing. You've changed nothing. You've achieved nothing. You need to compare yourself always and constantly to somebody who is outperforming you. You need to stop being so happy with yourself for these tiny little successes. This is what they teach inside of common pop psychology classes. Yeah, and take the small success and be happy with it and put little milestones and reward yourself for achieving the little milestone. No, that's not what you should do. The point is, the fact you could have a little tiny success and quit shows that there's something wrong with your mentality and your firmware in the first place. You don't know what success is. I don't consider myself successful. So how can you consider yourself successful enough to not work? All I do is work. I work 7 days a week, 18 hours a day, every single day, never missed a day, headache or not, ever. So I don't understand this mindset. And you see a lot of people do it, right? They'll say, oh yeah, I had a really great week and I've made some money and now I'm in Costa Rica. You're never gonna win that way. People often say to the extremely wealthy people, why do you work all the time? All you do is work. If I was as rich as you, I'd just go on holidays. Not understanding that the kind of person who goes on holidays when they have money is not the kind of person.
Nobody, absolutely nobody, gives a fuck about you as much as you're gonna have to give a fuck about yourself. Nobody cares about you as much as they need to care to fix your life. Even your parents, even your friends, even all the people who think they care about you. They care about you, yeah, sure. There may be 2 or 3 people on the planet who genuinely care about you. But nobody is going to come to your bed, drag you out of bed, drag you to a job, force you to work hard, go and get you a hot bid, and go and buy you a Ferrari. Nobody is going to do that for you. You are never going to have any of the things you want if you do not get them yourself. Nobody cares about you enough to do it for you. This is absolutely true.
I always knew the answer to everything is raw action.
Yeah.
The answer to everything has always been raw action. My dad had a tweet about this. He said that raw action solves all. And he used to say this. I'll give you an example. If you're a farmer and you need rain for your crop and there's no rain, you can sit there and say there's no rain, we're all gonna starve. Or you can stand up and do a rain dance. Now, will your rain dance work? Perhaps not. Perhaps the rain won't come. But I would argue that you're better off standing up doing that rain dance than just sitting there waiting to die. You have to do something. Raw action solves. So when I was broke, I was never like, I'm poor, what do I do? It was, I'm poor, I have to do something. If I was broke, I'd go for a run. That's why I was such a great fighter. If I was broke, I'd sit there and go, I'm actually poor. How do I make money? Dunno. Where can I get some cash? Dunno. What work can I do? Dunno. I'll just go for a run then. And I'd just go for 3-mile run.
What the? You need to sit there and realize, whoa. I have a few years of consciousness, and even less than that, I have a few short years as a young man, because age will damage you. I mean, if you're a millionaire when you're 60, it's not nearly as good as being a millionaire at my age. I became a millionaire at 28. So you need to realize you've got a few short years as a young man, you're wasting it.
You talk to people and they're content. They're like, oh, I'm happy with what I've got. I'm like, why? Because there's people who have a whole bunch more than you. And I was never content having a normal life. I wanted an exceptional life. I didn't want a normal car, a normal house, a normal girlfriend. I didn't want none of that. I was like, no. There's dudes out here that have the best. Why do they deserve the best and I don't deserve the best? I really believe that. And this is something I've always had inside me. I just didn't understand why I couldn't have the best stuff. I have a lot of guys ask me, similar to your question, a guy will come to me and go, how do I get a girl? I'm like, bro, you're a loser. Yeah, but I know, but how do I get a girl? Well, you're a fucking loser. You're a loser. Why are you asking me? It's like saying, how do I win a race with a push bike? You're racing Ferraris. What do you want me to do? Yeah. There's only so much you can do. There's only so hard you can pedal. There's only so many tricks and tips. There's only so many game things you can say, so many pickup lines. If you're a loser, it's going to be very, very difficult, and it's going to get harder and harder. The game is rigged to become harder and harder for men. It's not getting easier. It's going the other way. And if you're going to be on a racetrack and there's going to be Ferraris there, and you're going to be on a pedal bike or in a Nissan, you're going to get smoked. That's the game. You have to up yourself. You have to improve yourself. I'm not going to lie to anybody here and say you don't have to improve yourself. You can stay a loser and get chicks, because you can. Yeah. You can. I will say this, because I say it on every single podcast. If they lock me up for some insane bullshit,
The Matrix has attacked me.
If I carry on the trajectory I'm carrying on, they're going to put me in jail because I'm too influential. For the people watching at home, they just need to sit and understand that the system does not make rules for the good of you. It makes rules for the good of the people who make the rules. And a lot of the life paths laid out to the average man at home today is not for their own good. It's only going to lead them to depression and misery.
There's no evidence in my file because I've done nothing wrong. Everybody knows I'm innocent.
This is a huge injustice the way we see it. They should not be detained at this point. There are not.
They best get this guy, because if he comes out and he's free, oh my gosh. Can you imagine if he comes out and he's free, what his first life is going to be like? It could break the record. It'll be the talk of the world on how many people get. It'll be banned in countries. It'll be feared, because if you go after a person like this, you better have proof to arrest them or get them. You don't go through somebody like this because they become a big figure and their message becomes bigger, specifically to the people that didn't listen to it before or hated it. They're going to say, why are you trying to silence this guy? And you don't think Andrew's going to come out telling the story?
I hope this pisses you off, because I'm telling you to annoy you. That you're sitting there struggling to pay your bills. There are people out there making so much money you couldn't possibly fathom, who have anything they want all of the time. And you may sit there and go, oh, but they're miserable. A lot of them aren't. Trust me, they're having a great time. So you need to make a bunch more money, because there's money everywhere. I look at a beautiful woman and go, I can go on a date with her and she's absolutely gorgeous and perhaps we'll fall in love with people. I just want to compliment. I don't care anything else. So you need to start identifying how your money is taken from you. Because once you identify how your money is taken from you, you can start to actually intelligently think about how you can take money from other people. The only time being a man ever is good is if you become an exceptional man. He understood. Be near the money. I have no money. Money's over there. Well, let me get closer to it. Like, no point staying over here on my fucking own. Let me at least get closer to it. That was a 17-year-old kid. Money for us is a tool to shape the world. And I think that's what a lot of people also don't understand about being rich. That's what really satisfies you in your soul. It's the power. It's not the, I can afford this. That's nice for a while. But really what makes you happy is there's 60 of these Bugattis on Earth. Everyone wants one. Who gets one? I do. That's the fun of it, right? So it's power you're truly chasing. And if you want to be powerful, you can't be scared to invest money and spend money. A lot of people at home, if they want to make more money, need to invest in themselves. Yeah. They invest in themselves. And maybe they've been taught, well, if I just save. Let me say to everyone here at home, if you are saving less than 10 grand a month and you're just saving, your chance of being rich is fucking zero. You need to go and do something else and make more. Invest in yourself, get knowledge, pay attention to mentors, start another business, open something. You need to do something because you're not going to save your way to the top. The average person at home, you're not earning enough to ever save. If you never save 100% of your weight, you have to get to a level of earning.
When I found out about I just learned about how they print money, I literally could not believe it.
Money's not real.
For 3 days, I'm sitting around, so I'm like, what the fuck is this? So they can just print this shit?
Money is not real. It's not real. They just print it. It's not real.
Fair. Please continue.
Yeah, so money's not real. And I say that to people.
So it's not about money.
No, it's not about money. So what's about? It's about power and control. Yeah. So I've been from the absolute bottom to the absolute top. I've seen it all. And once you get past a certain level of wealth, once you get past a certain level of money, but then you understand what money is, right? So we say about money not being real. Money is not real from a governmental perspective because they just print it as nothing. But money is truthfully the stored time and energy of other people. If you have money, you have stored time and energy of other humans.
Because hourly rates.
That's right. Because I can take that money and make someone else use their time and energy for X thing. So let's look at even American slavery, the slavery that most Americans understand. You're going to work for me. I'm going to give you a house and I'm going to give you food and you're going to stay here and you're going to work. Slavery is abolished. So now what do? You're going to work for me. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you some money. And that money is enough to only buy you a house and some food. We've just put money in the middle. Now, if I can make you do whatever I want for money, and I can print as much money as I want, you're my slave. Because I can print it from the sky and you need it to live. So you are my slave. Money's not real. So I have all of this money. I have the stored time and energy of other humans. And once you get past a certain level of wealth, you understand, which ties back to COVID, that you're not interested in money. What you're interested in is people. It's always been about having good people around you. You want a beautiful, doting, loving woman who's obsessed with you. You want good brothers who will stand by you and make you motivated. You want and talk to me about bologna sandwiches or a ball, right? So you just start identifying how your money is taken from you. Because once you identify how your money is taken from you, you can start to actually intelligently think about how you can take money from other people. I find it amazing when people say they don't have motivation. I have people come to me and say, I want to get rich, I don't have motivation, I want to work harder. I said, how can you not have motivation to get rich when somebody like me with a head start like mine is still working 18-hour days every single day, 7 days a week without having a day off? I'm going to crush you. You don't stand a chance. I will beat you. And you're just gonna sit there and perpetually lose because you can't find the motivation to crawl up out the mud and stay a bug until you end up in your 15-minute city getting your 17th injection like a dummy, like a useless eater. All I do is work. Nothing is fun. I don't have fun. I don't even understand sports. I don't understand the concept of fun. The only sport I ever did was beating the shit out of people. Is that fun? I wake up every day and I think, how do I make my life better? Nobody else wakes up each day and goes, how do I make Andrew Tate's life better? So if you're not the person who's waking up every day going, how do I improve my existence? Then nobody is. Nobody on the planet is considering improving your one spin on Earth.
No one else cares.
Nobody else cares. So if you don't care, then you're fucked. So you need to wake up and care. And it's amazing to me, like you're saying, how did I find my mentors? I just tried a bunch of them. Like when I had no money, I would try very hard I'd listen to lots of different people, or I'd try different things. And I wasn't scared to invest in myself because I understand that, look, if he's taking time out of his life, then I need to reward him for it financially. And I tried very hard and I listened and I paid attention and I was never lazy. I don't believe there's a person on the planet who pays attention, tries their best, is never lazy, is on time, works hard, has a mentor, and is giving it his all, who isn't rich. I don't believe it. I think that if you do all those things, you're rich. And if you don't have any money, you're missing one of those key elements. Now, you can fool yourself and you can fool everyone else and you can pretend you're doing them, but if you're truly honest with yourself, am I finding people who are trying to teach me what I want to know, and am I trying my best? And the answer is fucking no every time.
Just even being around people with money, it's just a good place to be. I'll give you an example. I was in Romania and I have the largest car collection. And I went to Hungary, and I drove there in my Chiron, and I parked up, and a kid came up, and he said, "Hey, can I take some photos of your car? I have a car spawning page." And he goes, "Yeah, okay, I'll just be a few minutes of this." He took a bunch of photos. And he goes, "Oh yeah, okay. Well, if you want them, here's my email address." And I said to him, "Why do you do this? Like, you spend all day standing around taking photos of them." He goes, "Oh, well, I skipped school and I skipped college because I knew if I take pictures of expensive cars and email them to people, I'll have email addresses of the richest people." Yeah. I was like, I like you. He got himself a full-time job that day. So he understood, be near the money. I have no money. Money's over there. Well, let me get closer to it. Like, no point staying over here on my fucking own. Let me at least get closer to it. That was a 17-year-old kid. Now he's making 10 grand a month in Romania from me. So like, at least being closer to it. So you're right. People should, even if they haven't got a penny in the world, should be going to these meetings about real estate, about investing, especially if it's cheap, they should go. Just meet other people who at least have money. Have conversations about money. Talk about it. How are you gonna get what you don't talk about?
And I look at them and go, yes. I think a lot of the problem with people, especially in the world today, is they misunderstand the difference between a dream and a plan. And nothing good in your life is ever gonna happen by accident. If you see a guy in fantastic shape, you don't say, "How'd you get in great shape?" And he goes, oops, I just fell. And no, he ate a specific way, he trained a specific time, he did specific things for a specific outcome. And it's the same with finances. And most people who are broke, if you say, "Do you wanna be rich?" "Yeah, I wanna be rich." "How are you gonna get rich?" "One day." You have no plan. You have no plan whatsoever, no actionable steps. No, you're not doing things daily. You're just hoping some point in the future, God's gonna just dump it on your doorstep. Guess what? It ain't gonna fucking happen. And unless you have a plan, a specific plan, I'm sure you guys had you had a plan and you worked hard to get to your place. I had a plan. Everything was like, okay, today we have to do day after day after day until you get there. And this is what most people don't have because they're too arrogant or too lazy. I don't think it's stupid. I think most people, if you laid out a plan and they tried their very best and they were willing to learn, could do it. I don't think people are too stupid to make money. They're just too lazy or too arrogant to make money. That's the problem with people.
A lot of people are obsessed with the idea of happiness. And especially as a man, I think that happiness can actually be a very destructive motivator. And when men sit and say, "I want to be happy, I want to feel happy." To feel happy, a lot of the time, you're looking for temporary hedonism. To be happy, you want to get drunk or take drugs or do something stupid temporarily, and it's very short-lived. I think you should instead be looking as a man to say, "I want to feel proud." If you choose pride over happiness, you're going to make decisions that you're proud of and that people around you are proud of, and it's going to be better for yourself and better for society and better for everyone who loves you, everyone you care about. If you're the kind of person who searches for happiness, whether male or female, in my experience, people who search for happiness end up doing hedonistic, temporary, stupid things. When I find men who search to feel proud of themselves, I want people to be proud of me, and I want to be proud of myself, and I want to be respected. They often delay happiness. They often go through very difficult things and build things which are beautiful or build things which are difficult to do. They often go to the other side of fear to feel that pride. I did it. I faced my fear. I did it.
Yeah.
So I think as a man searching for pride or searching to feel proud is a pretty positive mindset for masculine achievement.
The reason I'm the luckiest man on earth is because God has given me endless building blocks to build. Give me I have endless sources of power. I can sit here right now and recall events that will prevent me from sleeping for 2 to 3 days. That gives me a superpower that other men do not have. They want to go to sleep. They're tired. I can stop being tired for days at a time. I can just have a thought. I can remember. I can sit, close my eyes, and use the power of my brain to vividly remember events, and I will not sleep for days. And when people come to me and say, "Oh, this happened, I'm really sad," or "My heart broke," or "This bad thing happened to me," I say, good. Good. Thank the Lord that he's given you this endless source of motivation. You're wasting it. That's your problem. But it's been given to you. Nitrous oxide has been given to you. You just have to use it in the correct way. So I'm the luckiest man in the world because all the bad things that happened to me have given me all the building blocks to become the most fantastic man on the face of the planet. I don't ever sit and concern myself with, am I spending too much? If I thought I was spending too much, I would simply find a way to make more money. And a lot of people talk about efficiency as well. I've had people talk about working smart, not hard. That is true. But I believe that you need to fill your day with all of the hard work first. I think that working smart is a matter of being more efficient with all the time you should spend working. If you sit there and go, I want to work smart, not hard, so I work an hour a day, well then you're still lazy. You should work smart and hard and do 15 smart hours a day. That's how you
crypto pump, you made a $4 million from these.
It's like, oh yeah, so I'm waiting for the next pump. I was like, bro, the problem with you is you've now been ruined for life because you're 22, you made easy money, and you think that you don't have to ever do any serious work. You also have no skill. The problem is with the crypto pump, it doesn't teach you anything. You didn't learn sales, marketing, staff management, stress tolerance.
You need that.
See, nothing. He doesn't know how to do anything. So he's just sitting there just gambling on shit coins, waiting for the next one to pump. And he's 22, and his ass is never going to want to get a real job, and he doesn't have any skills. So I think he truthfully. I made this clear to him. So it can be a detrimental thing, it can be a bad thing. But in terms of making money, it's certainly easier than it's ever been because we live in a global marketplace now. You can reach the world, and all you have to do is have a message worth making people listen to.
And it truly is the abundance mindset is true. I remember when I was broke. When I was broke, I thought everyone was broke.
You do.
Because I was broke.
100%.
And then you get rich and you start thinking, shit, everyone has money. Every supercar I want is sold out. Every diamond watch I want is sold out. The private jet charters are full. The yachts are full. Like, as soon as you get rich, you start.
Who are all these people that got money?
Completed this year. I bought a bunch of them off plan, so I decided to rent. And I rented a house on the Palm. It was $25,000 a day, dollars. I rented it. And I'm sitting there, and the landlord comes and goes, I just got an offer for $35,000 a day. You need to leave. And I go, okay, well, I'll pay $40,000 a day. And then he came back and goes, the guy's offered $50,000 a day for a year. And I'm like, I'll get another one. But like, there's people out there with money like you couldn't fucking fathom. There is so much money in the world. So you do get to a level of wealth. Another time it hit me, I was at Monaco. I was sitting around dinner in Monaco after it was on a car rally, and there's like 10 of us, and I just looked around the table by coincidence, and I saw everyone's wearing a nice watch, and I thought, when I was broke, the idea, if someone told me they had 30 or 40 grand in the bank, I thought they were doing good. Now I'm sitting at a table, everyone's wearing a $100,000 watch. Nobody gives a fuck. It's just like, there's levels to the game, and when you get up to the top, you realize there's money everywhere. Abundance mindset, there are so many rich people, so if you're not where you want to be financially, I hope this pisses you off, because I'm telling you to annoy you. That you're sitting there struggling to pay your bills. There are people out there making so much money you couldn't possibly fathom. You have anything they want all of the time. And you may sit there and go, oh, but they're miserable. A lot of them aren't. Trust me, they're having a great time. So you need to make a bunch more money because there's money everywhere. I don't think most of you realize that you do not have time. Everything is time. Time can be converted into anything. We all know time can be converted into money. People say often, time is money. This is true. Money is also time. You spend money to save time. Time is the enemy of the rich man, so he takes a private jet to save. Absolutely everything that happens in your life, whether it's good or bad, is completely your fault. Not enough people take responsibility for their lives completely. So if you're watching this, I want you to very seriously do this. This is a serious exercise. Take responsibility for your life. I want you to get a pen and a paper and write down everything good in your life, everything you're grateful for and thankful for, and everything bad that's happened to you. Perhaps you have a job you don't get paid enough. Perhaps somebody in your job doesn't like you and is being horrible to you and is preventing you from getting a promotion. Perhaps your girlfriend doesn't listen to you. You have a bad relationship. Everything in your life is completely your fault. Please understand, as a man, the key to being successful is building a formidable mindset that makes you ultra and hyper competitive in a very competitive environment. Now, competence and the ability to perceive the world as it really is, perspicacious and understanding the truth of the universe, is certainly a key element in terms likely to become depressed. If I don't believe in it, it cannot affect me. I cannot become depressed if I do not believe in depression. So by extension, my mind is more competitive. I'm more fear opponent. I'm more dangerous if I don't believe in depression. That's why I've created my mindset to be as competitive as possible. You must understand that competitiveness as a whole is the baseline for masculine experience. Every dollar you want is wanted by every other man. Every female you want is wanted by other men. You are competing against other men your entire life. Even when you walk into a room, instantly you are measured and sized up and down. You are competing. So for this reason, you must understand that you must build a mind that allows you to compete day after day at the highest possible echelons and be successful. Build a competitive mind now. To do that, you must self-analyze. Everything in your life is your fault. By accepting everything in your life is your fault, it makes you more competitive. If you believe that things just happen to you or that bad luck just comes and you can't affect it, you're not as competitive as someone like me who believes that everything is my fault. If it rains tomorrow, I am responsible for the rain. Do you understand? You may think I'm crazy, but I'm not, because I could have looked at the weather forecast and flown to another country to avoid the rain. There is always something I could have done. I could have packed an umbrella. I could have planned to go driving on another day when it's not raining. Everything is my fault all the time. I have absolutely not self-responsibility and accountability, which allows me to become as effective as possible when I'm facing my problems. When the enemy, when the problems appear, my Aikido is max level 1000 because I am self-analyzing permanently. Everything I do is self-analysis. One of the things I get asked all the time is how I speak so compendiously and interestingly and concisely, without making mistakes, going pausing and being a dummy. It's because I self-analyze. I listen to myself speak. I watch it back. I try and improve my vocabulary. I read the dictionary. I make sure I get very good at trying to get my ideas across to other people and make them understand me. Everything from the way I speak to the way I walk to the things I do to the woman I spend my time with to the friends I hang around with to the businesses I'm involved in, all of it is absolutely and utterly based on complete accountability and self-analysis. So you must self-analyze. If you're watching this, I am imploring you as professional individuals who care about improving their lives. At the end of this live stream, go to corporatetape.com, sign up for the free email list, then build. Get a piece of paper, write down everything in your life you're happy for, everything in your life you're not happy for, understand absolutely all of it is your fault. And once you truly understand that and make a plan to change it, things will begin to change. Nothing good in life happens on accident. You're never going to become rich on accident. This is actually very interesting to tie back into the very first super chat we had here from the guy saying that he tries to educate people on the real world and brokies. They think they know it all and brokies don't want to listen. If you don't want to join the real world and start listening to people with hundreds of millions of dollars explain to you how to get rich, that's fine. Then do something else to get rich. Tell me what your other plan is to get rich. And if you have no other plan, then you may as well join the real world because you're not going to get rich on accident. It's not going to happen with an oops. It's not going to happen. You're not going to find a bag of money on the floor. You have to get rich on purpose. You need mentorship, you need guidance, you need information, you need people to sit and teach you how to do it. That's what we do inside the real world. But if you don't want to join that, then you need to have another plan that's just as good, if not better. And for most of you, you're not going to have another plan. Self-accountability is absolutely not only important. It's based on self-reflection. Good question. It should be a daily habit for every single man who is serious about improving their lives.
So I've got a quick question that I'm going to answer, even though it's only a $1 super chat. It's a very stupid question, but it has a very serious answer. It's from Harith Rakim. Hi, Tristan. I would like to have a brief conversation with you about something you said I'm afraid I disagree with. I understand you're busy. How do we fans contact you? You don't. You contact me in the exact same way that I am going to contact Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. I do not have their number right now. Give me 2 years, give me 3 years, give me billionaire status, give me more hard work, and I may find myself at a table where I can have a conversation with Elon Musk and I can have a conversation with Jeff Bezos and I can pick their brain, I can ask them about their opinions. You, whoever you are with your $1 super chat, Harith Kareem, are not my peer. I am going to sit and discuss my ideas with my peers, and I often find myself at tables with people who disagree with me, people with 9-figure, 10-figure net worths who disagree with me, important people with influence who disagree with me. You are a guy on Rumble right now with a single dollar throwing at me. I'm not going to answer your question to the 40,000 people watching, and if you send me an Instagram DM, you're going to be one of thousands of people who do this every single day, and I'm not going to reply to you. If you want to have a serious conversation with somebody more important than yourself, somebody richer than yourself, somebody whose time is more precious than your own, then you have to work your way up until you are on that person's level. If you're not on their level, they're not going to talk to you. So I want to have a brief conversation with something that you said that I disagree with. My short answer is I don't care that you disagree with me. because I don't care who the fuck you are.
Bro.
And I'm never going to care. And maybe one day, 7 or 8 years from now, if I'm sitting at a supercar meeting and some guy in a Pagani drives up to me and says, "Hey Tristan, my name is Harith Kareem. Do you remember when you said I wasn't on your level and I want to pick your brains? Well, now I am." I'd be like, "Oh, well, that's quite a nice Pagani. Let's have a bit of a drive down the road. I'll happily talk to you." But, you know, it's such a stupid question. I don't think you're ever going to get to that level. But I feel like the answer could be beneficial for some of you out there wondering, how do you pick the brains of rich and poor people? You know, start network.
Absolutely, yeah. Start networking.
A little bit?
No, yeah, and you completely nailed it in regards to getting on the level of peers. It's amazing how life can be one of two spirals. It can be a downward spiral where you keep making a bunch of mistakes and you keep doing dumb shit. You can end up at the very bottom. But an upward spiral is also very real. If you do the right things, you're on time, firm handshake, train in the gym, good shape, try your best, make money, invest, learn, get a good network, pay attention to people who you know are living the life you want to live, like us or like anybody else. Perspicacious, indefatigable. If you're trying your absolute best all of the time, soon your life will start to improve. And when your life improves, you meet better people. When you meet better people, you can have more interesting conversations. You can make more money. You have a better network. You can go to new places. You can meet even more important people. And all of a sudden, you will see that life can very quickly become an upward spiral. It's nearly impossible for people like you and I to now become broke. It's an upward spiral. We can't go poor. We know too many rich people. We can't not have good business ideas. We can't not fix problems. We can't not have fun. We can't not have good relationships with women. We can't not stay in nice houses. It's nearly impossible for us not to have everything we want. An upward spiral is also very real, and you nailed it with our friend here. Anybody who is below us and not on our level, if you really want to talk to us, you know exactly what to do to have a conversation with us. Become too important to ignore. We became too important to ignore. And it's down to you now to become too important to ignore. If you have any kind of honor inside of your heart, if you have any kind of respect for your ancestors, if you have any kind of healthy masculine ego, which you're supposed to have, not the ego which destroys you, the ego which convinces you that you're special for no reason, but instead the ego which convinces you you need to be respected and you're prepared to do any amount of work it takes to be respected, it's fantastic. That's a good thing. Having an ego you work hard to justify is a superpower. If you want to matter, if you want to argue with us or disagree with us on any subject, then you need to get up and get to work. That's the only answer. First things first, the biggest mistake most of you are making. You should be hungry all of the time. You are an animal. Do not forget that you exist in two realms simultaneously.